Well, officially welcome everyone to our partner broadcast this month. We are so excited to have you here with us. Today's event promises to be a very exciting one, but before we can dive in, I want to make sure everyone knows there are 3 ways to watch today's event. That means that if you are on the live webpage, you can head on over to YouTube or Facebook to view and have comment ability. It's important that you do keep up with us in the chat and the comment box and let us know if you have any questions throughout the event. A couple of reasons why. One of those is we want to answer them. The other one is it does get you entered into a kit giveaway. So as long as you have subscribed on YouTube and liked the Facebook page and you comment right now during today's live event, we'll get you entered into that. So again, that comment box is right there inside of YouTube and Facebook both. Now, I said today's event is going to be exciting. It certainly is. And I know a lot of you have questions on how exactly you're going to take Ryan on those appointments with you. So to go ahead and get us started, I would like to welcome in Ryan Maddock to the call.
Airline miles, lots and lots of airline miles. No, not really. So you might have heard and kind of be wondering this, that I'm going to pitch your clients for you. Okay. Kendra and I are going to partner up with you. We're going to work together and we want to go out there and get as much of this money that we keep talking about into your local community as possible. Now, the businesses in your area need money. Okay. Everyone wants some of this $2.3 trillion that's available. So the opportunity is there. That's not the problem. What I want to talk about today is how are you doing with that though? Are you happy with the number of clients you brought in last month? Are you happy with your commission check last month? And if not, we're going to talk about what's holding you back. If it's that you're too busy, or maybe you feel like you don't understand the programs enough, or for so many of you I've talked to, you're just afraid. You're afraid of the question that you might get asked. But no matter what it is, we're going to solve that today because Kendra and I are going to pitch your clients for you. Now, we're going to teach you exactly how that's going to work. But first, we need to talk about ERC. Now, Kendra, there's been some big things in ERC in the last few weeks since we first planned this webinar and for this live stream. And we've got to stop and just address the elephant in the room, which is ERC.
And let's not freak out because it's not an entirely negative situation. And I think that's where we need to put our hats on and look at it in perspective. So the reality of the situation is the IRS was like, whoa, we have way too many ERC claims. We can't keep up. And a lot of it has to do with there's a lot of fly-by-night companies that have popped up. We're all aware of this, that have nothing to do with our industry, that are trying to submit their clients for processing, but they actually don't qualify. So it's put this huge strain on their ability to process in a timely manner. And let's be honest, they got a little pissed off and they're like, we're not doing it anymore. We're putting a moratorium on it, which means they're not processing any new right now. That does not mean they're not accepting them. It doesn't mean that our clients no longer qualify. It doesn't mean that ERC is shut down. It doesn't mean any of those things. It means they're irritated. They want time to get their crap together and be able to do what they need to do to get through this backlog. And that's basically what it boils down to, which actually works out well for us because we are one of those companies that takes the time, gets everything done the way it should get done. So basically what I'm telling you is do not stop offering ERC to your clients because what's going to happen, moratorium means it's temporary. So they're going to lift that. And right now that lift is the end of the year and officially. So that could be sooner, it could be later. We've seen them do all kinds of crazy stuff. So whenever they do start processing what's been submitted since they put the pause in place, they're going to start from the top of the stack and go all the way down. So if our clients are not submitting their legitimate claim, they're going to be stuck either at the bottom of the pile once we do submit, when they start feeling comfortable or whatever. They need to get and still process their claim and get it in so it's sitting there and ready to go when the IRS steps back in and starts processing the new ones. Again, they didn't say that they're not accepting new claims. We've seen all of our new ones still get accepted. They're just not currently processing. And if you read all the fine print when you're going in there, they got irritated at their backlog and the reason why they had the backlog. So they put something in place, allowing them to catch up and get back on place.
Well, Kendra, let's think through two clients, A and B here. Okay, so client A waits until January 1st, and they're like, I'm going to wait till the moratorium's lifted.
Yeah.
And, they're going to wait to do that. And client B goes ahead and they process now. Okay.
Right.
And by the way, both of these thoughts exist. I've reached out to some other ERC providers to ask, hey, what are you seeing in terms of traffic? I want to know about our website traffic versus what they're seeing. The common thing I'm hearing from everybody is slight increase in ERC activity since the IRS did this. So thank you, Mr. Commissioner, by the way, for the nice boost to our business. Once again, you've done this. Everyone's getting a slightly increased amount. Now, so you have client A and client B. Client A says, I'm just going to wait. And let's play that out for a minute. So January 1st, let's just say that's the date and it gets lifted. And so a few days later, they get around to submitting. And then whatever company they submit with, they're going to also see that same flood of new ERC claims.
Yep.
And they're going to be in this position where they say, okay, we've got to process all the claims we've collected for the last few months. Plus we've got to request payroll reports. So now all of a sudden, maybe it's mid-January or late January before they get those payroll reports in.
Yeah.
Well, Kendra, people only have until May to file for until 2020.
So
to
if we
file
allow
for
them
2020.
to postpone, it's just going to bring that possibility up that they
Yeah.
won't get what they're entitled to. And we're working as usual. We're accepting our claims. We're still processing them internally and getting them as quickly as we can over to the IRS, as we always have.
I want to focus in on that part that you just said right there, and getting them over to the IRS. Okay. Listen, until they shut down their computer link, we're going to keep submitting. Okay. Because they didn't say you can't submit. They said we won't process.
Exactly.
Now let me just ask you, and let me go for ERC provider A versus ERC provider B. Now the average pop-up provider, and that is what I'm calling them, they can't afford to keep processing. You think about this. This is a highly labor-intensive process. So they can't afford to keep process. So they're going to do is they're going to wait. They're not going to accept applications. They're going to wait to know exactly when they can make their money.
Right.
And then they'll go in and start processing. And again, so they're going to start processing in January. It might take them 45 or 60 days to process a claim internally, that pop-up provider, because during that time they've lost staff,
right?
They've downsized, they've done what they've had to do to stay afloat.
Because they're riding this ERC wave. That's all they do. That's all they are making money on. They don't exist in any other capacity. But that's not us.
We have a tax management system. So we're processing their cost seg, their WOTC, their R&D, their property tax, all these the local, state, and federal programs that are available. We're processing all these and we're like, okay, and we're going to process your ERC and we're going to send it into the IRS. Now, let me ask you, the IRS is dealing with this huge backlog and they've said, well, until January 1st. What happens when on December 4th, they're done with the backlog? What are they going to do? They're going to have all these ERC specialists that they've hired. They're going to move on to the stack and they're not going to announce it publicly. I'm just telling you that.
They're just going to pick back up where they left off.
Yeah. And so for our clients and your clients, what you want is you want them to be as high in the stack as possible. You need to be explaining that to people and getting it out there. So listen, you're going to have some clients that say, I just want to wait till January. And that's what you need to say to them. And Kendra, you're going to have other clients that see, and they say, wait a minute, I don't trust the government. And this isn't some big conspiracy. They say, wait a minute, you told me there's going to be a third PPP, and then there wasn't. You told me that there's going to be 4 quarters of ERC,
and there wasn't.
And then you took one back, and you fibbed. Literally, they gave it to the federal infrastructure bill. You fibbed. You took my money. And now you told me until I had till May of next year to file for 2020. And now during the crucial time period where I need this money, you've taken it away. So you're going to see these clients that say, I don't trust them. I want to get my claim in as soon as possible and get going. So
yeah, I want to add one clarification because there was a question about it too. When we say that we're processing as normal, like we receive documentation, we have to do the due diligence, do the checking, do the engineering questions and all of that to create the claim. And then we provide that information back to the client and work with them to show them how their CPA files for it. We don't file it for them. We can't file it for them. So I just want to make that one clarification. But we're still sticking with our process. And we're still working with each client to make sure that they are following through with that process.
Yeah. So how long until the IRS decides? Are we still signing clients every single day? We haven't stopped. What does it mean for you? It means that clients are in a better position to move on to the other programs as well, because that's the other
Right.
part is we're saying, hey, submit your ERC, get that in. But in the meantime, there's other programs.
That
Now,
actually answers Andrew's question, Ryan. He asked, is IRS still processing other things? Of course they are. They have different departments that handle different things. Nothing else is on the back burner. Everything else is working as normal. So keep
yeah.
that in mind.
So, Kendra, we've got this other aspect that's come into play now, and that is the government shutdown. So, you try to plan for a broadcast weeks in advance, and it's so funny
Well,
because we scour the news channels for this stuff, and now all of a sudden,
and I have to include it, right? So I worked
yeah.
on Friday. Today is Monday. When I left work on Friday, this was still up in the air. However, 3 hours before the deadline, I think on Friday, the Congress, it was like an 88-9 vote to keep everything in place and put that short-term bill in place that averted the shutdown. So right now there's no shutdown, but there is this thing like,
feel free to check back later in December.
Come November 17th, they're reanalyzing all of this. So we don't know, like this is a temporary step. There's not going to be one right now, but we don't know what next month or December looks like currently.
So let's talk about what that means. If there is a government shutdown, what happens? Well, first of all, the nice thing is because our programs are already all pre-approved for next year, and many of them are permanent, we don't need any approval. In fact, I want to give you a real example. Cost segregation is what's called an automatic acceptance. This is, without boring you with the details, what I mean by that is the government could be like shut down, all home, doing nothing, we won't process, and a client can still benefit from cost seg on the day that they do it with us.
Right.
And that's because cost seg is an automatic acceptance, and largely a big part of the funds are coming out of money that the client has already set aside for taxation. So let's just say the government does shut down. Like, that doesn't stop cost seg. It doesn't stop many of our other programs. In fact, in the event of cost seg, Kendra, it doesn't even delay it, because we're able to go in and it's instantaneous benefit, whether the government's up and running or not. So a government shutdown largely isn't going to affect anything to do with what we do. We face them every December for as long as I can remember.
When it popped up, I was like, oh yeah, it's about time. It's about time to start hearing about that. And everybody, like, to us, like our clients or whoever, they get like hyped up about it. Oh no, government shutdown. Like, what is it? Guys, like, this is not unusual towards the end of the last 5 years. It happens every time. Like, they talk about it, either happens or it doesn't happen. We have to be able to go with the flow and the punches. And we've been there where they have shut down, and we've been where they've talked about it and they haven't. And it doesn't really affect us in the long run. It really doesn't.
Now, the effect, though, is on our customers. And Kendra, let's transition into that. We spoke about this last month, and Kendra, kind of remind everybody, the position that clients are in and why we find that so imperative right now.
Well, we've talked about to death, I hope, this time frame that we're in, like the second or the most productive tax season's about to hit in, like, I think 2 weeks or week and a half, something like that. And I've been talking to some of the different people I know in the industry and reading some articles, and you're going to see on the screen some quotes. Like, this is the guy that actually runs the Michigan Restaurant and Lodging Association. Think about that, restaurants and hotels. He said, we're clawing our way back, but it's a different industry than it was before the pandemic. Another gentleman, he's the CEO of Hospitality Advisors, and he's like, everything's back, but we don't really know. Like, we're kind of all over the place. As swiftly as it led into closures, now we're up and we don't really know what to do. And this is what our clients are encountering. An economist even said employers are stuck between this long-term positive outlook and recognizing that growth is on the horizon. So they don't know what to do. Like, they need money, but everything's growing. So we're emerging and they need our help. And I wanted to pull in some imagery that we used last month, because I want you guys to remember your client base and remember the interactions between them. Sometimes it looks kind of like this. And then they got these tax bills, right? We talked about this, and they're freaking out because they owe, and they pushed it out of mind, out of sight for so long. And now it's come to, they've got to make a decision, So now they want to talk to you. because you're the solution, but are they going to remember that you're the solution? We talked about all of that last month. And the reason I bring it back up is because this is the same spot that we're in right now. We have a couple weeks left where this is imperative to your current situation. Ryan.
Sorry about that. I was loading my slides for the next. So
I had such a good segue, and he was like looking over here.
I was loading up my next page so that we were ready. So yeah,
But it basically brings us back to the original question, is like all of these aspects, all of these things, tax season right now, end of year is approaching, ERC moratorium, and possibility of shutdowns. What does all of that mean for us right now?
Well, it's like I asked at the beginning, and that is, I just worry if partners are really jumping in full. It's this time of year, things are kind of tough in the aspect, and I'll ask, like, are you getting your fair share? And I think Kendra raised that question, very well early on. I think right now it's tough because kids are just going back to school. Kids are going back to college, and it's kind of life is returning, and vacation season, coming out of, and all these different things. But you have to understand that, like Kendra was saying, you have this limited window, and I worry, are people really taking advantage of it? And one of the questions I asked earlier was, are you happy with your commission statement? You should be earning more right now. And in fact, if you haven't earned more in the last 60 days than ever before, then I challenge that you're jumping on board. I mean, if you're on some of our calls, if you follow us on Facebook and you're seeing our testimonials and things like that, I mean, people are earning record commissions.
Yeah. And
so if you're just like rewatching the broadcast, once a month, and you hear it over and over again, I would just challenge and say, I don't know how else to say it. Like, this is the time that you need to be taking action.
It really leads me to wonder too, Ryan, because we know that you all have the connections. Yeah. We see it time and time again. You talked about it when we did the group thing. Sorry, I can't think of the Platinum Group.
Platinum Insiders Club.
Yeah, some of the connections that you guys have are utterly amazing. And we're over here just flabbergasted as to why they're not signed clients and working with you already. Yeah. And we had to kind of ask, like, what's going on? Like, what is that missing piece?
I was so energized and frustrated at the end of Platinum Insiders Club, the last session that we had, because I walked in and I told Kendra, for those of you who don't know what that is, over the summer, I met with some people that had direct contacts in certain areas, like car dealerships or manufacturers, things like that.
They were amazing contacts.
Yeah, I was so struck with the contacts that, everybody had and that everybody shared. And so you have these connections. And I remember just asking, on the calls and getting to talk to so many of you one-on-one. And I asked, what's going on? Like, what is doing this? And what it really came down to was three answers. You heard me reference at the beginning of today's broadcast. Either you're too busy, which I think was the least of everything, the big two, though, were that you felt like you didn't have enough training, or the biggest one I heard, Kendra, is that everybody's just afraid of what they might get asked.
Right. I call it the fear of success.
Yeah.
The deer in headlights, like, oh no, I have somebody who's interested. What do I do now?
It is.
And I'm like, but we've given you everything, but I understand the fear. I understand it 100% and completely.
We went with the team to the whiteboard and said, okay, what's our next training look like? Because I got a partner who, literally told me, like, I'm going to tell two stories real quick. Brother-in-law owns 7 car dealerships.
Yeah.
They're not a client. In fact, they're not even in the system. They've never ran a calculation. And the other one was somebody that they write commercial building loans. And I went into the team and I said, where have we failed? And I'm not putting that on you. I'm literally saying, where have we failed? We, Kendra and I, because it's here I've been teaching you, like, how to post social ads and go get clients. And then I get on the phone with you folks and I find out that your brother-in-law is a car dealership. Somebody else had, a lot of people had great manufacturing contacts. And so we talked about a lot of different ideas, and I spoke with many of you, and we talked about what training can I give you? How can I give you confidence? How can I? And somebody made the joke because I said, what could I do to go? They had like, I don't remember. It was like over 4,000 manufacturers. And forgive me, I can't remember your name right now, or I would give you credit right now. But you said to me, I said, what can you do? And you said, come on my appointments with me. And thank you for that, because
I remember that moment. It was said in jest during a platinum group meeting, and I just kind of went like this. I'm like, if it was possible, because it's not like we're going to say anything different than we've told you guys to say in the past, but maybe seeing how those things take place. So we started wrapping our mind around it.
Yeah.
And Ryan created a pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, we went back to this with the team, and, Kendra, you had a good point. And that is that, we've been pitching clients for 23 years, and here I am trying to teach you how to pitch clients. So we talked about some old ideas. I remember we used to like hold big WebExes, and you could invite people there. And then we had to figure out whose clients were whose. Long before that, we did bridge lines. I think everybody here remembers bridge lines. So your clients would dial in. We'd say, you go to their office, put your cell phone on speakerphone. I'll pitch your client with you, and then you run Press Pro right afterwards. So has it been around long enough? That was fun. But we got a lot of.
I know Neil is laughing right now.
Yeah, because that's what we did. For some of you, like some of your oldest clients, like I pitched them back then, and we'd go in, and I would say, get a 3 o'clock appointment with your client, have Press Pro ready, do this. I'll do the verbal. You do that, and we would do these bridge line events. And then we moved into WebEx, which was worse. It brought, because all of a sudden people wanted to be virtual and things like that. So we looked and kind of asked, and Heather, you can switch over to my computer now. We kind of asked, what can we do better? Because to get everybody on a Zoom call, first of all, your clients don't want to attend a Zoom call. I don't want to attend a Zoom call. You probably don't want to be here right now. I understand that. We are live streamed and WebExed and Zoomed to death. Okay. But what we aren't is everybody's into short video. This is the fastest growing trend out there. And, so we looked and said, okay, what can we do in a short format? No, we're not going to do like TikTok pitches to dance moves. That was one of the ideas, but Kendra shot it down. So what we are going to do, though, is we've developed this great landing page. Okay. And you might be saying, oh, a landing page. Like, no, it's coming. So the funny thing is we've had this for a while. We launched this in to our premium group back in February with the messaging PPP and ERC were just the beginning. Now, long before, the IRS came with their, somebody got Word of Day toilet paper and said, moratorium, how can we use that today? So before that, we had planned to do this event. This was already underway, but man, talk about great timing, because we were already doing this. PPP and ERC were just the beginning. And then now the spike for ERC searches has went even higher in Google. So we asked ourselves, what do we need to change about this? And the answer was nothing, because clients want to know about ERC, but unlike all the pop-up providers, we actually have something else to offer. So on our page, instead of just giving them information or a video or anything, we're hosting a live event. Now, by the way, this is your page, okay? It has your name, your phone number, your email address, and a countdown clock to your event, which is October 12th at 11 a.m. Now, you're going to drive traffic to this page where clients can do one of a couple things. They can register. And by the way, no lengthy WebEx registration forms. No. They just click this button here, and it puts it in their calendar for them. And here's the beauty. Because of our Google API, we are actually able to inject your sign-up page link, your event link. This is not, I don't know how to convey this. No one else can do this that I know of. Everybody else would send you to a Zoom or go register with a WebEx or whatever. This, we're injecting your information directly into here. Okay, so that's all it takes for them to register is they just add it to their calendar.
Yeah, no, send us your email. We'll get back to you. Registration confirmation, none of that. It's so simple, everybody. They're literally going to pick which email provider they use and click add to calendar. There's no easier way to do it. It's non-invasive. We're not gathering information from them. It's super simple and easy.
Now, right here on October 12th. Of course, this is a great part. We don't have to remind them because Google Calendar or Apple or
We'll do
whatever
it
else
for
we use
us.
will do it for us. And they will come back to this page because they'll be prompted to by their own cell phone, their own device. And when they get here, regardless of the device they're on, Kendra and I are going to pitch them on your page. Here's the other beauty of this. While they're here, this page will change a little bit. We've got some call to actions that appear during the event. But Kendra, because they're not in a Zoom or WebEx or anything, they can actually run a calculation right while they're on this page.
Yeah, they're
They
going to be
can
on
sign
your
up.
live page. Yep.
Yeah.
And what does everybody do when they're on a live page? They click around, right? They're
Yeah.
listening, but they're going to click around. So their next step usually is going to be to go ahead and do their calculation while they're on the page. We're going to be talking to them about what that means and everything. So it's going to make it a really amazing, pretty interactive live stream.
Yeah. Now, we didn't call it register. We call it mark your calendar because people don't want to register. It's a turnoff. Okay. This is the same action. They're adding it to their calendar with a link back to your information. People don't want to give their private info. They're skeptical, even if they know you. They don't want to do that. So we want to get people watching. Now, after they do that, they can, of course, come down here and check out the programs. They can learn about our system. They can watch a video, all within your pay. In fact, they can click around. I don't want to spoil anything. They can go learn about other credits and everything on this new site that we are just launching today. So, Kendra, we're going to come back and show more of this in a moment, but let's kind of go back in. And I think one of the things that, well, let's talk more about this event. So this event is the 12th of
Right.
October. So it's a week and a half from now. You've got a week and a half to get traffic there. Kendra, talk
I
about
wanna-
what's the plan.
I want to kind of reiterate, Ryan hit this. This is your live stream, yours. You're working with your colleagues, me and Ryan, for your live stream. And that's how you need to come across when you're communicating. So we're going to look at the 12th and we're going to work our way backwards. So we have about a week and a half between now and the 12th, right? You are going to drive traffic to attend. I can't do that part, or my team can't do that part, but I can give you the tools that's going to help get you there. I've seen questions already in the side chat. How are we going to do this? What are we going to say? Is this my homepage? Yes, this is it. Well, not homepage, but this is the page you're going to use to generate this traffic. And we're going to do it in the 3 ways that we always do it. We're going to do it in email. We're going to do it in follow-up texting and with social posts. And I want you to keep in mind, because I know a lot of you tend to single out one of those manners of communication and stick to it only. Please do all 3. If you don't, you're only doing a third of your possibility. When you're emailing somebody and then they see a post about it later on your page, or you follow up with a text, or all 3, they're like, it takes 7 times before somebody sees something to act on it and for it to have an impression in their brain. You have to work all of these avenues in order to drive the most traffic to this event, this live stream.
Yeah.
And obviously we want you to get them there because it's going to result in people signing up for you.
Yeah. Now, on October 12th, again, what happens is people are going to come back to this page and Kendra and I's face is going to be here, kind of just like it is right now. Now, what we're going to do is we're planning about 8 to 10 minutes where we're going to talk to them about the state of ERC, what they should do if they've already taken ERC, what they should do if they haven't taken ERC, what they should do. And then we're going to spend just literally a couple minutes saying, hey, you know what? There's $2.3 trillion available for small business and for business in general. And you should click the link below and calculate. And there'll be call to actions on your page. So we're going to encourage them right while we're there. We're going to answer their questions. We're going to go through and we're going to encourage them right then to go ahead and calculate their benefits. So that's what we're doing, at that time. Now, it doesn't stop there. Okay. This is really important. For the week and a half before, you're driving traffic to attend a live event. We're leaving the video live for replay for 96 hours. Okay. This is a marketing trick, by the way. And there's some strategicness to it, but this is what this looks like. Everyone, whether they attended or not, what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to them with email, text, and social. And this is what that looks like. Mike, not sure if you got a chance to watch yesterday. We had a great turnout. I'm leaving it up until Monday. It's only 10 minutes. You should go watch. Okay. That's what that looks like. And I'll show you where to get. Kendra and the team have done some scripting. We'll show that in a minute. But Kendra, I hope everybody sees the flow of this. Okay. So we've got this event, and for a week and a half, drive traffic to attend. For 96 hours afterwards, drive traffic to view. And then it's gone, by the way. Like, this isn't a gimmick. It will literally disappear after 96 hours. If they come back to the page, it'll be a page there and they can sign up, but there won't be an event there. Okay. Because you have to have that scarcity. So that's what we're doing.
Special
now,
bonus.
We've got some special.
If you're in premium, which most of you are.
This is premium marketing, $99 a month. You don't have to be in it. There's all my disclaimer, because always people are, you're just trying to sell me. No, for those of you who want participative marketing, we have extras. We always do. Okay. And all this it's you sharing in the cost of our marketing team, and therefore sharing in the benefit. But go ahead, Kendra, because I don't want anybody to say,
we're just going to accompany what you're
marketing.
Right. We're going to accompany what you're already doing and kind of enhance it and keep doing it on our side. Now, I do want to answer one question, and that's clarifying the content of what we're going to talk about on the 12th. We are going to explain to them that there's much more than ERC and PPP.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go through and explain to them what's available for every different type of business. And we're going to do it quickly, and we're going to point them in that direction. Because we keep getting questions, Ryan, about, well, are you going to cover cost seg? Is it for ERC only? So that's what it's more than that.
Let's touch on, let's make our faces big for a minute. So you're going to drive a restaurant there, and at the end of it, they'll be educated on WOTC. They'll be educated on local, state, and federal credits for restaurants. They'll be educated on property tax abatement. They'll be educated on a disaster ERC.
Yes.
And of course, we want them to file for regular ERC too. That's later money at this point for you, but it's still money. And I didn't mention cost segregation, but they've done, and that would be true of your hotels, your car dealerships, your funeral homes, everybody. So to be ultra clear on that event that we talked about, what we're doing is we're putting them in this position of them understanding, again, you're driving traffic there, and we're putting them in this position where they understand there's more than just ERC and PPP. Right. And Kendra, to get back to that, if they're in premium, whoops.
Ha! If you're in premium, we are going to market on this side as well. We're going to be doing some campaigns. We're going to be doing social things of that nature. So it's going to accompany what you're already doing and make your reach even further.
Absolutely. And, between Kendra and I, we overclicked, but it doesn't stop there. And Kendra, you go ahead and click. So
this answers Lewis's question. He says, what about R&D?
About a week and a half, or like 2 weeks later, I think it is, a week and a half later,
we're going to do a live stream specifically for manufacturers. Okay. And I'm not saying R&D, it is specifically for manufacturers. We're going to talk to them. Now, I do want to put something out there. Do not hold back somebody because you think you're going to send them to a future event.
Yeah.
The one on the 12th is for everyone. We have to communicate and talk to them multiple times before they move forward. So don't do that. Okay.
Now, on that same day, Kendra, you're hosting another event
for commercial property owners. So those two big aspects that we have, we're going to pull that in on the 24th, and we're going to do the same thing that we're doing for this event for that one. So starting on the 17th, you're going to start moving through email, texting, following up with phone calls, and posting. And then afterwards, you're going to work your way backwards for 96 hours because it'll be posted live for an additional 96 hours. So you're going to continue to drive your traffic at that time.
So there's a couple of things. If you see this overall strategy that we're doing, Kendra, I'm going to take over clicking for a minute. This overall strategy, what we're doing is, and we're going to keep doing this, where we're inviting people to attend, and then you're following back up and inviting them to watch. Okay. And we're going through this process. Kendra, I'm going to come back to this because of a question that was just asked. So I'll talk in a minute about how you're going to push traffic, but let's clarify something first. And let's talk about who should go to which event. Okay. There's 3 events right now, and I haven't announced the November and December events, but there are November and December events that are already planned. They're already calendared. I just don't want to flood you with things. So right now you have your October events. There are 3 of them. Okay. The first one is your event, and this is all businesses. Okay. I know we told you about 3 events, but right now you're only doing one thing. Okay. Forget the other 2 events. They don't matter right now. Okay. It's just there's not a broadcast between now and then. But right now, everybody on here is doing one thing, and that is inviting people to next Thursday. Okay. What if they're manufacturers? Shouldn't I wait till? No, you shouldn't. Everyone should attend this event. Now, what we're going to do is a week afterwards, we're doing 2 events, the manufacturing event and the commercial property event. Now, let me explain. So next Thursday, you invite everyone to this event right here. Now, for those of you that are in premium, we're going to come alongside of you, and we're going to, all the people that attend this event or fill out a calculator, we're going to put them in an automation, and we're going to reach back out to and market alongside of you. Kendra, I say alongside for one key reason. I don't want to say we're going to market for you, because
No.
that indicates you don't need to do anything.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is going to edify what you're doing.
Yeah.
Without you, it won't do anything. It won't work at all. So you have to do your side. And then what we do, we'll just edify it and make it stronger.
Now, if you're in premium, what we're going to do is all the people that attend this, all your clients that are in your system that haven't bought yet, we're going to split them into 2 populations. And if you're in premium, we're going to do that with you. If you're not in premium, that's okay. You can do this too. You have access. You know who your clients are. You know what their industry is.
Yep.
But what you're going to do is, if they're a manufacturer, you're going to invite them to the manufacturing event. Okay. If they're not a manufacturer, all other businesses, you're going to invite to this event, the commercial property. Why? Well, because I say all do manufacturers qualify for cost seg? Yes, they do. But we're going to pitch cost seg on this call. Okay, so don't worry about it. We're going to pitch on this call, R&D, WOTC. We're going to pitch everything, including cost seg, including property tax abatement, through the lens of manufacturing. Okay, so if they're a manufacturer, they get invited to this event, and then, of course, to this event. If they're any other business, they come to this event, and then you're going to invite all other businesses to this. Why? Well, Kendra's got a hot list, which Kendra, I want you to talk about in a moment. But before you do, the reason I added all non-manufacturers, if you say commercial property owner, people don't necessarily, you don't know who owns a commercial property and doesn't. You don't know if that funeral home owns their own building. You don't know if the restaurant did renovations or didn't. You don't know any of that. So because of that, we say all non-manufacturers. So manufacturers come to this one, all non-manufacturers come to this. But Kendra, there's a hot list here. And I say hot list because if you know anyone in this list, you need to call, text, follow up, drop by, do whatever you can to get them to this live stream. Kendra, cover that. I know it's on the screen, just in case anybody's podcasting this.
You guys know who's hot for cost segregation. It's the apartment buildings, assisted living, auto dealerships, hotels, medical offices, property management, funeral homes, like all of you guys know this. Yeah. Those are your hot ones. Like I would actually stop over there and drop off a little event thing if you can in person. Like work the systems so that you get them intrigued, that you want them to attend. Yeah.
So how are you going to get people there? Let me switch over, and Heather, I've got it actually, Heather. I should let you do your job. So, so let's talk about this a little bit. So you've got 3 pages. The first one is that PPP and ERC were just the beginning. We talked about that one. Beautiful page. This is for all businesses. Following up beyond that, you've got your manufacturing event. This is where you'll be driving traffic to. And it's the same concept that you just saw, but it's a great manufacturer. Who qualifies for R&D? What manufacturers qualify for? All of these different things. And finally, we're going to have our commercial property event. Same thing, where we talk about what types of businesses qualify, all these different things. So you've got these pages, and really the question becomes, how do you drive traffic to it? Well, this is something that Kendra and the team have gotten so proficient on, is of course, they're going to do it all for you, where you just are down to cut and paste. So Kendra, this is the Toolbox homepage as of right now. Don't leave. You can go here in 5 minutes. Don't leave right now.
huge banner so that I grab your attention immediately when you're going to do any level of marketing. And this banner is going to take you over to a new page that we've added to the toolbox, and it's our Let Us Pitch Your Clients page. So this is going to be where all of our client events are and the tools associated with those events. So you'll see all 3 of them are listed there, but obviously we are
Can we get a slow clap for marketing for doing all the work for us? So this is great.
Currently driving traffic to the October 12th event. When you scroll down, there's a great video from Ryan. It's short. It just kind of walks you through what we talked about a little bit more in depth, but walks you through the steps that you're going to take to be successful in driving traffic for the 12th. And when you scroll
2
down,
minutes long, it goes through and says, hey guys, do this.
Yeah.
So it's there. And then this is
when
great.
You're scrolling down, thank you, Robert. You're scrolling down a little bit more. So we've got an email for someone who you're familiar with, a buddy, a friend, colleague, coworker, associate. And then there's one that's more general and a little bit more professional. So there's a casual one and a more professional one. Use them wherever you deem appropriate. Make them your voice, but use it. And remember that this information that is within the dynamic information, it's your link. It is your contact information. There is one thing you have to change, and that's the first name. So do not cut and paste and forget to change the first name. Okay, everybody? That's literally the only thing you have to change. If you scroll down a little bit more, there's some scripting for texting. We had some questions earlier on how do I get cell phones? Most of the time, this is for someone that you know, somebody you're aware of.
Your
contact.
Kendra, if we could, I want to pause on this one for a second. Let's talk about this. So I want to actually read this one to you guys, because this is what this looks like. This is the local blank that this is the realtor, this is the the local business owner, that kind of thing. And so it's a lot like the ERC one.
Yeah.
And I want to read it to you for a minute. So you just cut and paste this. You say, hey Mike, hope all's well. Hey, did you guys get a chance to take the ERC credit for the IRS? Put it on hold. Okay, I know they didn't put it on hold. It's a moratorium, but don't use the word moratorium to people. Okay, it's just morbid. So, hey Kendra, I hope all's well. Did you guys get a chance to take the ERC credit? Okay, this is conversational. They're going to say yes or no. It's really that simple. If they say no, well, don't worry. It's only on hold for a few months. You can still submit for it and be one of the first in line to take it. More importantly, there's dozens of other programs to help small businesses now that PPP is gone and ERC is on hold. I'm hosting a live event with my colleagues. Kendra and I are your colleagues, by the way. Thursday, the 12th. Click here to add it to your calendar. It's that simple. That's a text should be short. If they say yes, ERC and PPP have been huge lifesavers for the last 2 years. Congress didn't renew either program this year, but they did add $2.3 trillion in programs like ERC. I'm hosting a live event with my colleagues, blah, blah, blah. And then Kendra, you've got some good coaching notes here. Encourage them to pass it along, that kind of thing. So that is, the text messaging. Kendra, let's talk about social a little bit.
Social, I'm giving you 6. I'm giving you different formats this time just because I made them and I had them available. We got the smaller, larger ones, and then the ones with more words on it. Use whichever ones you want, but use all of them. You have a week and a half. You should be posting every day, maybe even once or twice a day. And they're all just going to point everybody back to the event. It's going to give your link. You can change up the verbiage that goes along with the post. I made them all the same because I didn't have a lot of creative juices left when I get to this point. The team left me with this one. But you can change it up if you want to, or keep it simple because the social ad does actually do a lot of the verbiage and the selling for you.
Yeah.
But be using these. Get them out there. I saw a question earlier. Can we use this for LinkedIn? You can use it for LinkedIn. You can use it for Facebook. You can use it for Instagram. What else is out there now?
Yeah.
Everything.
I want to talk about social for a minute because I don't want you to discount this and think that let's just say you're you and you have 70 friends or let's go 200. So you've got 200 friends on Facebook. And by the way, I want to tell you our top performing platform is Facebook. It's not LinkedIn, it's not Instagram, it's not TikTok, it's not whatever Twitter's new name is. Post on all those too, but our top performing platform is Facebook. Okay. But you might say, I don't have any business I don't have a Facebook professional page. That's why it's our top performing, platform. On LinkedIn, I like LinkedIn. LinkedIn is like 1,000 people talking sometimes and nobody listening. Okay. With Facebook, everybody's on there to consume. Okay. And you need to make sure that you're not assuming who you know on there. So let's say you have 200 people in your friends list. Okay. You may not recognize like 100 of them, but you have 200 people on your friends list. Okay. How many of those people work at a restaurant, work at a manufacturing plant, work at a, whatever kind of, at a hotel, whatever, you don't know what they do? Or what if one of your friends, their son works at a restaurant, or their brother-in-law is a general manager at a manufacturer? Like, you don't know. And here's the power of this. First of all, you're going to share stuff, and these images, Facebook in particular is going to say, ooh, we have an image. It's not just text. I want to promote it higher. But later, we're going to give you an event to actually post on Facebook. Okay. It'll be here. We can't publish it right now because you can't publish it right now. You got to do these posts leading up. But what we're going to do is we all are going to share this event on our Facebooks at the same time. And if we do that, Facebook will look at it. And so you have 200 friends, and here's what you're competing with: Nancy, who posted a picture of her cat, and some other person who posted like a picture of their son doing a somersault and things like that. And they're like, that's cool. And then somebody else is doing a Facebook Live, and it's like, okay, yeah, we'll put that up. We like Facebook Live. And then there's this event, and Facebook loves events, and they love live streams, and they love this. But what they love even more is when they see something's trending. Okay. So here's how, not to get all like Zuckerberg on it, but here's how we're going to trick the algorithm. It's really simple. You're going to be the most popular thing amongst your 200 friends that day. And the reason why is going to be because you post an event that hundreds of other partners across the country all post to. And Facebook's going to be like, what's that? What's going on? And they're going to drive the interest for you. So this is an important part of the strategy. Kendra's going to email it to you as it comes closer. But what you're going to do is you're all going to post this Facebook event at the same time. It's tied to you. So don't worry. It has your link in it. That's where their sign up will be. But if all of a sudden hundreds of us or thousands of us partners all at the same time post, Facebook is like, what's going on? This must be important. We have a lot of interest. Oh my gosh, look, another person. Well, I got another one posted. Oh, another one did too. Wow, this must be a great event. Are there events that are bigger than ours? Of course there are. Are there events that are bigger than ours amongst your 200 people? No, not likely. That's why you're going to go to the top of the feed. And this is where virality happens. Okay. Because now all of a sudden it's not about your 200 people, because Facebook shares events. I wish I had a flow chart for this. Facebook shares events with friends of friends and connections of connections. So one of your 200 people clicks like, then it's going to prod it towards sharing it with their 200 friends. And if one of those clicks like, I don't mean to get all MLM-y about it, but pretty soon you're in front of thousands of people because you did a post. I wish I had a whole live stream to do on this, but let me just say, LinkedIn's great. Go post it on LinkedIn. Don't not post it on Facebook. Okay. But also, and Kendra, I don't remember if you said this in your and I's planning meeting or if you said this in this event today. We get a propensity to just doing like one of these. Well, emails.
Yeah, I said it today.
Okay.
We do. We all have the thing that we think works the best. And so we lean towards that because we're most comfortable with it. But if you don't use the multiple avenues to be able to, promote yourself and to get your reach to be further, you're going to lose out on a lot of your reach.
Yeah. So for the next week and a half, what are you doing? Well, there's a 2-minute video here to tell you what you're doing, but email your close contacts, general email, follow up with the text. Okay. Anybody you have a cellular for, just follow up with the text. If you don't like this script, you think it's too scripted, say, Mike sent you an email. Check it out when you get a chance, bro. That's it. Texts are not meant to be wordier than this, in my opinion. Do the social post. And then the day of the event, what are you going to do? You're going to watch this 2-minute video. And for 96 hours afterwards, you're going to say, hey, Mike, I'm not sure if you were on the call the other day, but you're on the live. I still say call. I can't get past call.
Live stream.
I'm not sure if you were on the live, not sure if you got to attend the other day, but check it out. I'm leaving it live until Monday. Okay. And you'll do that. And then this page, Kendra, talk about this will continue to get updated with the same strategy throughout the series.
So as we move forward after the 12th, you'll see after the 96 hours after the 12th, you'll see things shift on here a little bit. Manufacturers will move up, cost seg will move up, commercial property, and you'll see the strategy change, emails change, and that. And then whatever we're doing in the future, which we are adding more, you'll see them come in and kind of the same thing happen. We're going to always approach it in the same manner, marketing up to, and then having about a 96-hour window afterwards. And you'll see all of the marketing tools will line up with that.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to email, you're going to text, and you're going to post. We already talked about, to who to go through there. And so, Kendra, I think we're at the point where we really need to talk about, and we're actually done like on time. Imagine that. So let's talk about our action items, what we're going to do from here.
Well, obviously there's a lot of work for you guys to do, and we've been doing that lately. We've been giving you a really full plate, but it's only to build your success, and we've seen it over and over again. So we're going to continue to do that. You're going to watch for an email to come out today. There'll be your broadcast follow-up email, and then I'm going to push you into an automation where I'm going to keep reminding you what it's time to do. So if you don't get in and get active right away, I'm going to keep prodding you, and I'm going to keep sending you your emails and telling you it's this time, you need to do this. Hey, it's this time. Did you do that? So I'm going to bug you a little bit over the course of the next week and a half and those 3 additional days afterwards as well. You need to start promoting today. Get started, start posting. And then remember, this is a very strategic time period that we're working within. You need to use all 3 of those aspects and use them together to be the most successful.
Absolutely. You've got a week and a half to get them back to this page right here. And so you want to drive traffic. Heather,
I want to answer one question. This is a live stream. This is not a recording that we're throwing up on your page. No, this is a live stream. Your clients, if they choose to ask questions, will get them answered live. Ryan and I will be interacting with them personally. This is not a recorded event. This is not a recording that we did before and we're just going to post on your page. This is a live stream.
It's very much, if you want to know what it's going to feel like, let me show you. It's going to start like this, and we'll welcome them. We'll explain to them what ERC is, who should be taking it. We'll explain what other, clients, what else they would qualify for. And then from there, we'll walk them into how to calculate their benefit, which is going to be right below on this page. It'll change the day of. It'll literally be right here. So we'll say, click below, and we'll walk them through the calculator. Our goal is to get you a client that day. And
you'll know if they attended, if they do a calculation and they show up in your toolbox. Yeah. Short of that, we're not collecting information. We're not asking them to give us any information. That's on you to follow up and to kind of keep pushing it. But you'll know once you see them as a surveyor.
This was a marketing decision. We talked about, we could have done a registration form here, but what we really thought is where we've seen the trends go is that you lose so many people. You lose upwards of 90% of people when you put a registration box and ask for an email address here. I would rather communicate with the client and give them something more enticing, like calculate your benefit now, and then we'll have their email address, as opposed to, why don't you give me your email address because I'm the 700th ERC provider to ask for it. And so our goal is we want to show them we're not an ERC provider. We're not a pop-up provider. We have a tax management system. The way I'm going to present it to them is simple. We're the QuickBooks of tax incentives. And I'm going to explain to them what we can do for them. And Kendra's going to walk them through. And we're going to do it in about 10 minutes. I've said here, 15 minutes could change everything. So that's, on the upper end of where I want to be. So your goal for the next week and a half is one thing and one thing only. Get people to this page. Okay. And get them there so that they watch the event. Edify the event. And the way you're going to do that is on your Toolbox homepage. There's a banner. Okay. If you don't know how to get to your Toolbox homepage, reach out to support or log into the portal. It's the main link that's there. You'll see this banner there as well. You're going to get over to this page, and for a week and a half, you're going to do these activities right here. Okay. And then for the 96 hours after, you're going to do these activities. And then For the week and a half after that, Kendra's going to give you new activities. So this is why you need to be in the email chain and watch out for one special email. I don't know what day it comes, but you just got to watch for it in the next week, where we're going to all post at the same time this event that we're going to do. So in fact, I will look. So mark your calendar on this. It's Monday. On Monday, just a few days from now, you will all get an email showing you how to post this on Facebook to do this collective thing. What that'll do is it gives plenty of time Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the Facebook algorithm to build momentum and for us to get a lot of attendees on Thursday. So on Monday, you need to watch for the email from Kendra. Now, if you don't get her emails because one day you marked her as junk, let me go full
Shame
screen.
on you.
Shame on you. Kendra is
Reach
not
out to
junk, you know?
support and get reactivated.
Yeah, do that because you need to get this email on Monday and you need to share this. And it's important we all share it on Monday. That's what's going to have Facebook saying, what is going on here? Okay.
Can I add one clarification with a question? Is that okay, Ryan?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Andrew asked, if they go to the live event, will they know to use our link to sign up? The only way they can get to the live stream is from your page.
Yeah.
You're the one promoting this. This is your page. So they're already on your page. And the link to the calculator is already on your page.
Yeah, let me show you. So I'm on.
There's no way for
right
one
now.
of your clients to get to somebody else's page because you're the one promoting it. It all belongs to you.
So I'm going to click calculate my benefit. This is still my page. So when I go through and do this, this is my client, my page. So everything's in, that's the beauty to not using a Zoom or a WebEx or something like that, is the fact that we're able to do this. So this is live on your page, and even the calendar invite, I showed this earlier. We use our API to inject in your page.
We're basically promoting you, only you.
Yep.
They don't even know about us until they come to watch. And that's one of the reasons I said, make sure that you're promoting this as this is my live stream, working with some colleagues, blah, 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 blah. So that works really well. I do see a couple questions about where do I find my client info, stuff like that. Reach out to support for questions like that. They can kind of give you a refresher on your welcome and show you where to find all that in your client portal.
So let me show you what, again, for the next week and a half, what you're doing is you're driving traffic here. Okay. And for the week after that, you're driving traffic. If they're manufacturer, you're driving traffic to this event, and all other businesses, you're driving traffic to this. The way you're going to accomplish that is on your toolbox. Kendra's given you everything you need to be able to do this. But honestly, Kendra, I'm just going to say, if you're not sending this email 100 times, you're lying to yourself about your ability to communicate. Okay. So sometimes, sometimes I ask you to pick a number or email 10 businesses or whatever. I'm going to give you a number right now. You need to email this to at least 100 people. If you tell me you don't have 100 people in your address book, I don't believe you. Okay. So if nothing else, email to people that you think might know, like somebody that works at a place, and say, send this to your boss. Okay. But you have 100 email addresses that are somewhat warm to you. And if not, I don't need, you do. Just trust me. And then you need to be on social, okay? Posting this and that kind of thing. Another thing you can do with these posts, if you've got a pretty low reach, let's say you only have like 50 friends, post this, add to the first few words, I'm hosting a live event. I'm hosting my first live event. I'm so excited. Can you guys share this on your page? You say, but all my friends are, just from my cat club. And I don't really know. That's
okay.
Fine.
They'll still share.
Your
They
cat
love
club,
to share.
They have son-in-laws, and those son-in-laws work places and that kind of thing. So just ask for help. Forward these on to people and say, hey, I'm not real well connected in the commercial property realm. Would you mind sharing this for me? That kind of thing. So if you have low context, just ask for help. Kendra, I think people are so surprised to find out that their people are willing to help. So if you say, Mike, I'm really excited. I'm hosting my first live event, but I'm new to the Southeast Michigan, and I don't really know.
You can even say, I don't have a large reach yet. Would you mind sharing to your connections? They don't mind.
You send that out.
If you don't ask, you're just going to get a no.
They're going to hit your 100 people for you. So again, next week and a half, what are you doing? Driving traffic to this page. How are you doing it? By using Kendra's page and her scripts and things like that. So she's made it so easy. I hope you guys get this. I hope, and I haven't been able to look at the comments. I hope people are excited. I hope people
Lots of excitement and
understand what
lots
we're
of thank
doing.
yous, Ryan. So
Yeah.
just there's a lot of appreciation, which thank you very much, because we do put a lot of effort and work into this. And the reason is we want you to be successful, and we know the potential that's there, especially during this time frame. When you're successful, we're successful. It's a little selfish, but so we're going to give you the best we can so that you can be as successful as you can.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you've got to go to work. You know, I think, Kendra, I saw on one of your slides, I almost skipped over it. It said, you have the connections, we have the pitch. And that's so spot on. Listen, I can have the best product in the world with the best IT team and all the software that's developed. And we've got the support team. We have our production team. Kendra's got the marketing team. You notice that our avenue we've chosen to go out there and communicate with clients through is through
you.
a partner network. Okay. So we don't have anything without those connections. So we've got the pitch, we've got the technology, we've got the live stream, we've got all of these things, and we've got the marketing effort, but you have the connections. So you will make $0 on this platform if you don't go put those connections to work. But imagine what you could make if you spend the next 2 to 3 months putting these tools to work, driving to live events, driving to traffic, and getting out there and doing that. So
thank you so much for spending time with us today, everybody. And again, questions, reach out to support no matter what they are. Don't get held back. Watch for the emails that will start today, and let's see how successful you all can be with this.
Thanks, everybody.